are watching and listening to the Satellite Trampoline 3 podcast with your hosts, Rich Clinton, Thom Tessandori, and Andy Macon. Join us as we discuss anything but politics.
Save me. I don't think I can save myself. Help me.
Thank you, Robot.
Yeah, thank you, Robot Lady, for letting us know that the Satellite Trampoline 3 podcast has begun. So today we a little discuss. And I've kind of narrowed that question down a little bit because I mean we were looking at what music put you onto the path of not only listening to that genre but also participating in it. I kind of narrowed that down to actually what made you want to be a musician in the first place, which sounds like the simplest question in the world, but I find that quite simple to answer. Yeah, it's a tricky one, isn't it?
Well, yeah, when it comes down to could this possibly be, what you do for a living or just as to define yourself? This is,
Yeah. Just what made you have to be a musician? I think that's probably the better question. Yeah.
Well, for me, there definitely is an evolution for sure. So when I started off, I just wanted to fit in with my friends.
Yeah.
And as I got older, it became a level of expression and a bunch of different stuff in between.
Yeah. I guess, what was the gateway? Was there a music thing, or was there a member of the family who played an instrument? Was there encouragement to play something? I mean, a lot of people I know started out as like playing rudimentary piano and then got into their instrument because piano was the thing that, you have piano lessons. Oh, you're musical, are you? Well, it's either violin or piano. That's all we had sort of. You'd know people in primary school here to secondary school, like the parents had a couple of quid and they go, yeah, this one's going to go to piano lessons, this one's going to go to viola lessons. But you never saw a kid with a bass player or guitar. So there wasn't anything that really floated my boat until I got very much into music. So listening to music, that is. So, my dad's enthusiasm for sort of rock stuff and prog stuff. And I ended up, the first album I bought with my own money was down in a shop in Tenby, and I got Killers by Maiden, and that was the one that made me sort of fly around the room like an idiot. I was electrified by it, and I was immediately looking at the back cover, and then I was looking at, well, I want to do that. I don't know how, but that's what I want to do. I just want to do that.
Yeah.
And it wasn't an instrument for me. It was just I want to do that. So it was
Awesome.
anything that I could do. I just wanted to be part of that, and it wasn't fiscal. It wasn't to get girls, it wasn't to get anything other than attain the level of feeling I had when I put the first track on.
Yeah.
It was like, I don't know what to do with it. I have all this, I don't know what to do.
Right.
So I want to do that because that's how, if that makes me feel like that, imagine how it would make me feel if I could do that makes me feel like that. So that's kind of where it went for me,
Yeah, the dream.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, it was different. Strangely enough, I came from a non-musical family. Neither of my parents played anything, not even the kazoo. But my dad they both loved music. My dad especially. And it's funny looking back on it, it's like, geez, Dad, you were kind of an audiophile. I mean, it was, he was upgrading the stereo, and one of my uncles worked for Memorex, so we were getting free cassette tapes, black cassette tapes, and he was going to the record store all the time and had a pretty varied, musical collection. And then he got into quadraphonic stereo for a while. And I remember going with him to my uncle's house and setting up his quadraphonic stereo system.
Wow.
So I mean, looking back on it, it's like, yeah, I mean, no wonder. It's like it was just there. But it was it's just a strange pivot that happened with me that I went with my parents over to my aunt and uncle's house, and they're having some sort of religious prayer meeting or something, and they shoved me in the other room like you did in the 70s with kids. Just you go in there. We'll be in here.
Yeah.
Try not to die. And there was a piano in there, and I just, out of boredom, I just, started plunking around on the piano, and I just started picking out songs. And the songs that I knew at the time, of course, were like songs from church. I think it was probably "I'll Fly Away" was probably the song I picked out, which I don't know if you've heard that, Andy, but it's an old hymn here and like very country,
All
very
right,
woodsy.
okay, nice.
And so I picked out the melody, and they're like in the other room, and they're hearing this music, and they're like, "Where's that coming from? Who's that?" And they come, it's like Richie's. It's Richie. He's playing. He's plunking out on the piano. So they knew I had some musical aptitude, and
Yeah.
at least my ear. But I was like 7 or 8 years old, so and nothing happened. We didn't have any early education music programs in school until you got into junior high school when I was 12, and then I was offered band, and I rolled with it. I wanted to do it so bad. My dad liked saxophone, so I took the sax, and so I already had a little bit of 2 years of music behind me before of playing, structured music in
Hmm.
school until I got into high school, and then I met my friend Mike who played guitar, and it was like, okay, I was already into rock, it was like,
Yeah.
and that just kind of happened a different way. But the fact that, somebody I knew not only had a guitar, he had an SG at the time, so it's like, oh my
Oh,
goodness, it's like,
that's that.
so yeah, that sparked it, and it was just that's all I wanted to do. I mean, it pretty much screwed up my entire education, and because we wouldn't go to school. We'd go to school, meet each other, go back to my house and play music. That's what we did. And I, that was all I wanted. I could not wait to get back and play guitar and play and hang out with my buddies, and and then find it for a while it was a drummer and three guitar players.
Wow.
So that
Yeah.
that was fun.
Yeah.
At
Yeah.
varying degrees of aptitude, so
But also, so you narrowed it down from just playing an instrument and getting by a couple of years of doing that, and then the guitar hits,
yeah,
right? And that's the instrument for you from that
yeah.
point.
And very much because of the ability to, number one, accompany yourself if you wanted to sing. You can't really do that on sax. Um, and being able to play chords, and actually write. And I really, really found that I like to write songs, and that's
Yeah.
the thing. To me, the creation of music is still paramount. Playing live is fun. Creating is what I have to do. I mean, if I don't
Hmm.
get that out of me, then it's like
Yeah.
people probably don't want to be around me much.
And
Um,
the tool you choose to write with is guitar.
yeah, yeah,
Yep.
and of course, you have all these effects and you have everything else. It's just like the largest palette of colors that you can possibly work with. It's like you want to, and without being reliant on anything. It just opened up the world. And of course, I didn't even know what distortion was when I first started playing guitar. I had an acoustic guitar, and I'd listen to albums, and I thought electric guitars were what made that sound. I mean, I
Yeah.
thought if you wanted an acoustic guitar, that's what normal guitar sounds like. If you wanted which I didn't know at the time was an overdriven guitar or distorted guitar, that was electric guitar.
Yeah.
I didn't know that the process behind it. So yeah, it's so funny looking back. It's like, Jesus, did I just wander out of the woods? Yeah, I guess I kind of did. I was an only child, and there was nobody,
Pre-internet, way
yeah,
pre-internet. Let's
well,
not forget,
yeah,
it's even. I mean, it wasn't that far off from the case of Jeff Beck going on the bus to see Jimmy Page because they've learnt a new chord,
yeah,
and how do you do that? And
Sure.
because nobody else knew,
yeah,
it was just word of mouth. I mean, I came up in the time of the Starlix videos and that stuff, which no
yeah.
one had in this country. Like some guy must have had the original, and then it was just pirated, like you wouldn't believe.
The
So you
18th
get this
generation.
18th generation sort of ghost porn in the background of it, right? Because someone's
Right.
just recorded over their dad's special collection. I'll use that one, right?
Right.
So yeah, and once again, those videos were you'd have a guitar player on there and be like, right, yeah, so like this is my stuff, and this is my stuff, and this is my stuff, and this is me playing,
Yeah.
and now we're going to tune, and then that was it. And you just watch it avidly, going, oh, it's amazing, and you try and learn it, and it was just no, So yeah, the pre-internet. I mean, I think that's how we get our voice as well. Or at least it was for our generation. That's where
Yeah.
you get your voice from. But we are skipping ahead. Tom, what about you, mate?
So really, I would say there's two. There's the musical influence from the outside, something
Mm.
that wasn't church, and playing guitar. So
Oh.
I started out briefly on guitar, but I quickly learned that I was better at bass. So I wasn't quite a reformed guitar player. It just that's just what needed to play to be part of the
But
band.
how did you know you were better on bass?
I didn't.
Oh,
It was that somebody else was better at me at guitar.
yeah, fair enough. Yeah,
So
we'd
it
all
was
be
sort of
bass
this,
players then, Tom. We'd all be bass players, mate.
yeah. Well, it's like vegan by omission, right?
Yeah,
Like you can have the burrito, just leave the cheese out,
yeah.
and
Leave the
that's kind of how I came. But then I quickly learned everybody needs a bass player, especially one that can follow the drummer. So early on, I had really good mentors, probably from church, that sort of guided me musically into what to listen to, how to get in a pocket, what a pocket even was. My mom's super musical, but it was never like expressed in our house. So it was mostly just church was the influence. And then my cousin came in, and was 5 years older than me, 5 years older than me, and introduced me to Scorpions and Striper. And those two mixers put together somehow are like, yeah, exactly. It was the
Christ
melding of
compels
music.
you.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
So that was my influence early on.
your yellow and black influence.
Yellow and Black
Striper.
Attack.
Striper.
Yeah.
It's like the band that's like they've broken up 6 times and then like got back together 7.
That's
So
divine intervention, clearly.
oh
Of
God,
course.
yes, exactly.
Oh God, yes.
Yes, indeed. Wow. But excuse the rudeness or naivety, but because you were raised with such strong religious beliefs, was Striper in any way connective tissue between that and the dark side, or was it not?
Well, it depends who you ask. So at the time, it was during the satanic panic of the 80s.
Nice.
So everything was, from the devil and molesting kids and all this crazy stuff. And so when something came out that was like the kind of music that I wanted to listen to, I sort of latched onto it. Because before then, it was really out of integrity. I mean, I would take Motley Crue tapes, erase the title on them and put them into Christian artists that you would never want to be seen with, like Amy Grant or something,
Wow.
And so that, the deceit was early on.
A music
For sure.
smuggler.
Oh, mate, your
Music
country's
smuggler.
weird.
It's
Just is. I'm sorry. No, let's not get into
every
that.
time
But-
something comes
my
up
God.
about the country, Rich needs to grab his fingers and go like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ones
it's
behind
just,
him.
It's just coming from a non-religious country, really. I was yeah. It's just it blows my noodle, dude. Blows my noodle.
Yeah,
it was a
yeah.
trip. It was a trip. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
mine wasn't as bad as Tom's, but it was very informed. It was my mom. My dad was like, yeah, whatever. But my mom was didn't want me to listen to, I remember going out and buying Blizzard of Oz and hiding it because of the cover, um and Striper, yes. Tom is correct. Striper was, the type of music we wanted to listen to that was acceptable by the
Yeah.
people that didn't want us to listen to that type of music.
It's God's version of saying, "Hey, this music's okay to be gay," right?
Kind of, yeah.
And I will give them a nod that they didn't. The thing about Christian music back then is like it was 4 times down from secular music as far as talent level, or it was just very, like you'll do this. So Striper actually came along. It's like you don't suck. You
Yeah.
actually you can fit in with this, and you could be the band that opens for the better bands,
Yeah.
forever.
Sure. Yeah.
Wow.
And there were a couple other ones. Resurrection Band were like kind of an AC/DC style band, but Andy, there was rock, what they consider to be rock would be a guy with an acoustic guitar strumming loudly, you know, in a very folky way that, and these are people that still use terminology like acid rock. You know, oh, you listen to acid rock. It's like, what the fuck is acid rock? You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
I listen to what's on the radio and what all my friends listen to, and it's not what you think it is. It's just you've already painted it a certain color, and I'm absolutely not going to step into your cognitive bias zone. It's just there's no way out of that, you know.
yeah,
Well, it's strange now to be an adult and realize that it was all just fear driven. Like there
yeah,
was no real even substance to it because there was no connection. It was just like this agreement that this
yeah,
particular thing was bad and this
yeah,
particular thing was good.
yeah.
And it's the older I get, the more I realize it's all just information.
Yeah,
Nothing's really
it's
good or bad.
like you say, to that point,
What it
there's no
is.
malice in it. I mean, there wasn't,
Right.
No.
it wasn't
Yeah.
funded by that. It's just ignorance, unfortunately. And
Well,
that
you know, and if
ignorance,
you think
the
about
hole
it,
in that ignorance was filled with somebody going, "Here's this information, believe this, and you won't be scared anymore."
but conversely, it's hard to look at it this way. But I mean, if you stand back, it's like really in their mind, they're helping you. They're trying
Yeah,
to protect you.
That's right.
They
yeah,
want to save you. You know, so I mean, in some ways, you know, it's funny to feel so, you know, have a negative feeling towards somebody that's actually in their mind is they're afraid that you're going to be in a bad place if they don't come and save you. So I
yeah,
mean, it's
yeah,
odd. It's a very
yeah.
strange place to be in.
Well, what's even stranger is there's nothing gay about doing each other's hair back then too.
True.
Because those guys looked, I mean, they looked better than I've ever looked.
Yeah. Were any of them gay in
I
Strong
don't think
Bad?
so. No,
I mean,
no,
really?
I don't know. I don't
no.
know.
I mean,
It was just that strange, you know, glam metal time. I don't think any of the guys in Poison were gay either, and they had hair from here to there. You know, they looked like they
mm,
all were.
They look
You
like
know,
chicks.
they
yeah,
looked all
like,
drag. It was like
yeah.
it's so funny that we got such a hang up about drag now. It's like, geez, in the '80s, you should have come back with us where that was, you know,
Yeah.
Aussie with a perm.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, yeah,
that's
I
sequined
remember.
robe. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
sequined robe. There's nothing like that in the
Blue.
Bark at the Moon video or
Yeah.
not Bark at the
Yeah,
Moon.
but that Bark of the Moon
Ultimate
video,
Slave.
he just he looks like somebody's nan. I mean, it's like Nonna or like, their auntie. Everyone had like an Auntie Glenda that looked like that in the 80s, right? They had that perm and those shoulder pads, and they were built like that with that jaw. Tell me they didn't, right? Every fucking
True.
family's got one of those, right? And they
Yes.
smoke.
Yeah.
Oh,
I said
cigarettes,
to him,
yeah.
he said to me, oh, yeah, right? But the
So
massive
they all
big
have
back
that.
combed.
Now that Patty and Thelma, what is it? Patty, Selma,
Yeah,
that kind of
yeah,
thing.
exactly. Aussie's Patty Velvet era, right? Totally. Fucking
Yeah.
hell. Yeah, there were some. I mean, that was the thing as well, though, with that era, was you'd have people like Poison and Crew and stuff, and they'd all look, because they did it at the time when they always were going to look amazing anyway. These are 20-something Californian chaps who spend either all the time in front of a mirror and very little time playing guitar or bass. And I mean, like Steel Panther, for instance, the whole, they all look gorgeous and fantastic, and they look old now. But my point being is that that's fashionable, right? Quick, get Ozzy some makeup, right, and do something with that hair. It looks terrible, like from the 70s. Let's make him look like somebody's nana, you know. And a lot of those guys who were sort of, oh God, we've got to do something. Tony Iommi, right?
Yeah.
Slightly wider of the shoulder, bit of tassel.
Yeah.
Up with that, fluff the moustache and put the shades on, right? And that was, well, there's Tony. He's looking a bit glam now. It's looking ridiculous. Don't do that. What's wrong with you?
It's funny the ones.
It's as bad as the Sabotage album, when the Sabotage album where they got,
Yeah.
they're all there in front of like a mirror. It's a gatefold.
The
You see their
platform
back.
shoes.
And it's not that, it's fucking Bill Ward's tights. And why? Because he just asked someone to wear their tights. I don't know whether it was somebody's wife. He just put their tights on. And that was like for the photo shoot. And they all went, yeah, Bill, sound. That's good. I like that. It says something. Don't know what. Maybe mental drugs time, but it does say something, right? And then we go from there to the 80s where suddenly they're back combing Ozzy's bloody hair.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
Oh,
Shot in the
dude,
Dark and Bark at the
dude,
Moon. He just looks
listen,
absolutely ridiculous.
listen. I fell down Geezer Butler's biography. It's
Yeah,
great. It's amazing. If anybody hasn't read it,
I
it's
haven't
called
read
Into the
it. No.
Void.
Yeah,
It's great. I can send it to you.
yeah, man.
Um, and he was like, we were so on drugs, we just kind of did whatever anybody wanted because they didn't have any money. So if some executive wanted to see Bill Ward in tights, he probably was like, "Hey, bro, this is before the Me Too movement."
Get him on, bitch.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, all right, I'm doing it now. What's he?
Because
Can
they,
you help me with this? I can't get him out of my ball sack.
And somebody's like, they're all, well, Ian Anderson does it. Oh,
Yeah, but he's supposed to be a fucking minstrel. They wear
yeah,
tights, not a drummer from Sabbath in bright red tights. You just look silly. And he had like frog legs, like quite a rotund top half, and then quite skinny legs, like myself.
yeah.
So like draped on a stool, I look like a ready to dissect frog. And that's what he looks like in this photo. But yeah, I mean that whole era, man. Fucking hell.
Yeah, it's
I
strange
mean,
looking back on it.
oh
It's funny because it's the two that really are burned into my brain, and like you just can't get that back is Ozzy, of course, with the sequins and the robe
yeah,
with the hair and everything else. And for some strange reason, KK Downing with his permed platinum blonde hair in
yeah,
one of the later Priest
Turbo
videos.
Lovers.
Turbo Love. It's just like,
yeah, yeah,
you guys were
yeah,
never glam metal. You're metal. It's like you
yeah,
were the progenitors of leather and spikes and stuff, and now you're
yeah.
wearing, vinyl.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny, really, because at that time, Rob Halford was getting more sort of new wave looking,
Yeah.
shorter hair, less obviously camp studs and stuff, and just sort of more coming out. I think a bit more, which was a refreshing rather than see him sort of
Yeah.
pretending to be anything else. But yeah, they went big bouffant, especially KK. There's that live video of them. I think it's the Turbo Tour, and they're all in different but similar leather outfits or leatherette outfits with various degrees of nonsense on them. And then KK's got his Hamer, but it's a V, but it's not a V, and it's got like almost like a banana headstock. And it's all and it's just the massive hair, and
Yeah.
it's all you can see as they're doing the thing, in unison.
Yeah.
And it's just like the hair's not really moving. It's just like this, it's like remember that Star Trek episode, The Trouble with Tribbles?
Yeah.
Right? It's like that hair, but amplified and blonde. It just does that.
I just was always amazed when I was a kid and they would get a bad shot and then they would slow the camera down where they're like doing the synchronized choreography. And I'm
Yeah.
like, wow, how'd they get their camera to do that? That's amazing.
I know, man. Yeah. Fucking incredible. Yeah, stage moves. Stage moves. There's the thing. The synchronized headbang, the guitar up, the singer coming in between them for half an hour and doing his thing with a microphone stand as well. Yeah. Scorpions doing the whole triangle thing with Klaus Meine on either knee of Matthias Jabs and Schenker. That thing.
Yeah.
Moves like that, we just don't see them anymore.
No.
Hastily arranged moves before a
gotta-
tour.
Yeah, we
Here
gotta
come
bring
signatures that
back
you have to do when you're 74.
Right.
we gotta bring back the rubbing of the shoulder blades.
Oh, nice.
When you're playing the
When you're
solo, singer comes up, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, maybe
Oh.
it's an American thing. Who knows?
I think so. I don't know what that is. Yeah.
You just send chills down Andy's spine.
Clearly, a little shoulder up whilst you're in the middle of a number. Yeah, I'm trying to emote here. No, I thought you made it. No, thank you.
I actually, since I'm a little older than you guys, I played in that era, so I was actually in one of those bands and I had that hair and we practiced our moves. We practiced choreography. We could not have facial hair. That was one of the rules in the band. So
Yeah.
it was terrible. I'll divulge pictures at some point in time. It's
Yeah,
pretty-
you will. Yeah,
my
you
blonde
will.
poodle do. Yeah.
And you got it. Yeah. Yeah, I was in a band. Oh, this would be 1990. that I joined, or 91, 1990, in Cheltenham. And I'd already like jammed with them and it was okay. And it was like, yeah, you got the job, you're going to be the singer. Okay, cool. And we met up and we were just having a drink. We went to see another band. And the guitar player sat me down. He said, and I had a little goatee at the time. And he said, what about this then? You're happy to shave that off, aren't you? And I said, why? What's wrong? And he said, well, it's just, don't really like the facial hair. And I said, well, you can fuck off. Well, you can fuck off. And he looked at me and went, oh, no, I was only joking. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, it's fine. All that bollocks, right? Yeah. I mean, I had the hair.
Yeah.
Always had a bit of fluff because I didn't have much of a chin. That was it. And like this Pillock and he was like 5, 6 years older than me. He'd been on the circuit and playing, and he was like, a bit of a local name, local in painting and decorating. He wasn't a local fucking name, but you know what I mean,
right?
And he, can you, maybe get rid of the beard? I'm like, fuck off! What's wrong with you?
Can you hear that airplane?
Is this a euphemism for wind?
No, there is a very loud airplane. Hey, you know he could speak German, did you?
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it was an interesting time, but it was funny too because I always felt out of place because I was always heavy, and it's just like these guys are rail thin, and they're wearing tight satin trousers, and I had to find whatever I could do and to kind of get along. And what saved me through all that was first, it came after I'd already started playing music, and so I'd already gotten into songwriting, and I just wrote all the songs, and that's kept me alive until, thank God, grunge came along. It's like, that really, once I moved up to Oregon in '90, and you're starting to get the shakings of the, this glam metal, butt rock, whatever you want to call it. It's got to go away. It's become a parody. When all the commercials on TV have some form of it, when they're throwing it into sitcoms, and that's what it was. It's like, then grunge came along and just said guitar solos, because really it's like me and Tom have talked about this because as being a bass player, we'll joke about, Ian Hill or Jeff Pilson, probably fine musicians, but Jesus, when all you've got to do is hold down the root, and the drums are doing nothing, and it's just a guy go wah, and that's what it's all built around. It's like those poor dudes, man.
Yeah.
In fact, I got the Screaming for Vengeance. I went to the Screaming for Vengeance tour, and I got the program. Tom's heard this. It's Glenn and KK and Rob, Glenn and on the very, very last page is one picture of Dave Holland and one picture of Ian Hill.
Yeah.
So thanks, guys.
They're doing the other guy's laundry. Yeah. Make me a fucking sandwich. Yeah, I'm coming.
Even at that age, I was like 17 years old. I'm like, God, I feel bad for those dudes. It's like,
they are nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's terrible, isn't it? But yeah, you're right. That whole era, bass players, they just didn't get it all looking,
No.
They just had the same shaped guitar, just bigger, like a Jackson or something,
Right.
And it would be, when you think about the bass players, the only one who was, I saw Dave Lee Roth in '88. So he had Sheehan and Vai.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they were glam as fuck, but Jesus Christ, they were so fucking good. So good. Trying to remember what the drum.
It's funny you brought up some when we talked to our last podcast episode about Rush, and I was like, everybody air drums to Rush.
Yeah.
And we had talked about Killers, and so on Monday morning when I was driving to work, I listened to Somewhere in Time and the whole Killers record. And I was like, if everybody air drums Rush, everybody air fingers Steve Harris.
Behave yourself, young man. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Amazing stuff.
Yeah,
Amazing
he's
stuff.
still so good at that though. I mean, touring with him, that whole setup he's got, it's just it's 4/412s and they've got EV speakers.
Oh
So
my
they're
God. 4/412.
4/412s
Amazing.
and EV speakers, and they're the old EVs. They are so fucking clean and loud. That's all he wants. And those 4/12s are so heavy, they're ridiculous. And then he's got his rack stuff. Basically, it's just a power amp, preamp and a power amp. He's got the endorsements with Orange, and he's got the other bits and pieces, and he uses them now and again. But it's the rig he's always had, even down to he's got a mic stand which is by the drum riser, and it's a water bag, right, with a little pipe that he sucks his water from, right? But it's like kind of skanky and old, an old plastic, and it's just been washed out and scrubbed every night by the roadie that you trust it with, and put the water in, off you go. And next to that is his tuner, and that's where he goes. He has his little drink and he tunes whatever, and he still blows his nose and all that. But yeah, his rig is 4/412s EVs.
Wow.
And in small clubs, it's louder than the word of God. But it's wonderful. It really is wonderful, actually. I must admit,
There is something for pushing all that air, man, and being in front of it. It's like, it's visceral,
Yeah. Well, I had on that tour 1/412. I had my Orange 412, and I was running. What was I running? Solid state. I was using pedals. So I was running a Seymour Duncan Power Stage little amp.
Yeah.
And a tight metal into it, a tight metal pedal, and various effects in the loop then. But yeah, his sound. I hear it in the context of Maiden, but when it was with British Lion, it was slightly different, and it's clearer. You can hear more of it, and it's more of a bass rather than following the route all the time kind of thing. It's more he's freer, I suppose, in certain aspects. And yeah, there's a player who went through the 80s, and they didn't. I mean, Maiden didn't go glam.
No, they didn't.
Bruce
may have messed with it a little bit, but I think for the most part, no, nobody. If you weren't willing to perm your hair and wear satin, then you may just get a pink guitar. I think that's,
Yeah.
that was the nod, it's like, yes, I'm going to have a polka dot guitar, and that will be
BC Rich gunslinger. In shocking pink.
God.
Yeah. A friend lent me one of those. I didn't know anything about Floyd Roses at the time, so a string snapped. I carried on playing it for a while and then put it to one side. And then about a couple of weeks later, he came around. He was horrified that this thing was just destroyed by me playing it. I hate Floyd Roses. I've never gone near one since, but yeah, it was shocking pink, and it had all the right angles. I mean, all the right angles. It was like a Klingon's fucking armament.
right.
Kaplach, yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like that's kind of circled back around, but because it's so many generations ago that now there's nothing attached to it to a younger generation. They have no psychological attachment, or they didn't have to live through the war. There's no PTSD around pink guitars or anything.
Yeah. Well, that's with fashion as well. It's like the mullet over here came back big style in my son's age bracket, so sort of 15 to 17. These lads are wearing, what was it? Business at front, party at the back, right?
Right.
Yeah. Well, that's been happening. It's phasing out now, but there's been lads wandering around with mullets, and I'm dropping my daughter off at school and looking at them and going, but you look like a dick. He looks like a dick. And I got no one to tell it to because no one's got the frame of reference.
Right.
Boys,
you're a nerd.
Right. And it's like young lads are tucking their t-shirt into their trousers again.
Yeah.
And they're rolling their trouser legs up a bit to show their boots off or their socks off.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at my old people now, and they're baggy jeans and baggy t-shirt and grungy looking dudes everywhere, and skater looking dudes everywhere. They're all grey or silver foxing now.
Right.
And you think, well, this is right, isn't it? You should have your t-shirt over your jeans, and your jeans shouldn't be like skin tight. I mean, And then you're wandering around, you see these people, and you think, oh my God, not only was I there when we looked like dicks, but now our children are looking like dicks. What the fuck?
And we
How
didn't
do we
teach
get
them.
past this? Yeah.
So we have that here too, but the thing that's all of a sudden in the last year has come back is the mustache. Just the
Now that,
mustache.
yeah.
Yeah,
Now,
it's the
I'm a
Ned
kind of fan of
Flanders
that.
look.
Yeah, I'm kind of a fan of that. I saw that in the Idols boys,
Yeah.
Joe and those guys. They were sort of, sporting quite a mean moustache. I thought, yeah, I mean, for many a year now, that's been called a certain type of fella's moustache,
Right.
one who lurks in bushes, that kind of thing, and preys on small animals and children. And
A
so
mustache.
yeah, a mustache. And so to wear it in a sort of faux indie, post-ironic sense, oh God, how university of me, I'm going to wear my moustache now, because that's kind of the vibe I'm getting.
Yeah.
Hipster bollocks, right?
Yes.
But
Yeah.
I ain't got, I quite like the moustache. I think more the merrier. I think that point in time where any gentleman of a follically challenged area ended up with one of those Viking beards and like a twirly moustache thing. And then, I mean, I went for a big beard just because I'm a lazy bugger, but the ones that have it sort of, sculpted, like it's a big fat Disney chin of fur. And then, the big old waxed bollocks and all that. It's like, oh, who's got time for that, man? What's wrong with you? I'm wearing an Edwardian suit and I'm 33.
Right.
All right.
All right. Okay. Great.
Conversely, I've done with I had this joke. I don't know if it's even a joke. It's just my crazy sense of life that you play this game called Society Says. So 25 years ago, society said you couldn't have a mountain man beard. It wasn't acceptable. It's like, you're going to walk into stores and there's going to be a security guard walking around following you, or they're going to think that you live under a bridge. There's got to be something that society says that's not acceptable. So then all of a sudden it reaches a certain level and so society goes, okay, have your beard. So then everybody goes ape shit and they just all grow their beards. But it does lend to us something that we have never seen in history before. And that would be a guy with a giant mountain man beard wearing Crocs and shorts.
Oh, I see that over here. Oh, yeah. It's amazing. But then Eddie Izzard said it years and years ago. It's that point on the chart or on the disc where it's no, that's crap. Oh, hang on. Oh, that's cool. Genius. Looking like a dickhead. Genius looking like a dickhead. Dickhead, right? And that's the circle. That's what we're seeing now with these fucking mullets.
Yeah.
You have been watching and listening to the Satellite Trampoline 3 podcast. Thank you for your company. Catch us next time.